Attention! You are attempting to access certain files that have a certain security level which you may or may not be privy to. Attention! Turns out you are privy to. Welcome to the SCP Foundation Dr. Knight Files. I am O5-redacted, a certain secret inside worker that makes sure to keep all certain inside secrets of Dr. Facilio McCravi Knight, or Facilio M. Knight, not to be confused with M. Night Shyamalan, especially not to be confused with him. Well, all of his certain secrets under wraps. You may be wondering, who is this Dr. Knight, and how does he already have someone from the O5 Council working to keep his secrets, well, certain secrets, under wraps? And, well, the secret behind that, my dear dental ladies and gentlemen, is that, well, it pays to know good people. I can tell you that. And now, what you are probably most likely here for, otherwise you wouldn't have tried to access this, well, file, or files, to be more correct, precisely correct, for what you were waiting for. The SCP Foundation. Secure, Contain, Protect. Dr. Knight Files. These will contain some very absolutely riveting stories about the certain personnel, the certain Dr. Facilio M. Knight, who has quickly gotten into the ways and woes of the Foundation. As for why we keep him alive, well, for about, the same reasons why we keep a certain Dr. Alto Clef around. Well, not exactly, but we like to think it's at least somewhat pseudo-similar to that. And also because he's apparently part SCP-939, otherwise known as codename With Many Voices, a Gator class SCP, which, considering he's part of it, it's part of his genetic code, it's the same as 939, along with many other things about him that we still do not understand to this day. And I'm the guy who's, under his, well, he likes to call it a secret payroll, but really, how secret are we being here? I mean, you literally just got in here just to hear about all the wacky, crazy, insane shit that he can do. Or maybe you were aware of that. That's what technically this is all about. The Dr. Knight Files, all about the crazy, weird shit that he's been able to do and even get away with underneath the guise of the Foundation and even other groups of interest. he just seems to, appear and disappear whenever the fuck he wants to. And that's not me just getting angry, that's just me, like, having to face the hard, cold facts that literally the guy is unstoppable. And also related to an SCP, which is also related to these files, as SCP-8888, the King of Starlight, which isn't even currently known to the Foundation yet that they are related to each other, and how exactly they're related to each other either. More or less, just these files, I need to tell you that these files they will be very chock full with a lot of information about a lot of the goings on about Dr. Knight. And what he tends to be able to get away with doing, and even the messes he tends to be able to get away with doing on a literal secondly basis. Yes, not daily, but secondly, possibly even picosecondly basis. He has cooked up so much shit at this basic series about the files that you have now access to, whoever you may be, or whatever you may be, in the case of an SCP actually being able to access these files, in that case, basically, holy shit, we are all screwed. If the SCPs that we actually are supposed to contain know about what he can do, then oh my god, we are screwed. Basically, sound the damn alarms, we are screwed. In that case. Basically, yeah. The first case to basically bring up here on the daily life, or at least most current, daily life situation, the file we have for that is a simple one, or at least it would seem simple at first. That is until Dr. Knight himself is brought into the picture. It started as a simple, field operative mission manned by Dr. Bright, a very close friend at the time of Dr. Knight, who had officially around this time became a certain site director under the name of Site Date Redacted. And since he was a said site director of this site, he basically, decided to man an operation under the guise of a team a very certain team. Team Omega 7. Bright basically deciding to man this entire operation of Team Omega 7 and their secret, and I put it in air quotes there, secret mission to recontain certain SCPs that only were decontained because of his and Dr. Knight's own actions, which may remind you, or just inform you at all, because of the fact that Dr. Bright told Dr. Knight that it would be funny to do. Something that would be hilarious. A quite hilarious joke. And still to this day, we are quite not exactly sure why he thought that would be hilarious, what he ended up doing with the help of Dr. Knight, considering some of the security was still quite tight, even though that he was basically the site director. SCP-682-096-076, and if I'm remembering this correctly, somehow managing to get that one Minecraft SCP, which I can never remember the actual number for, actually managed to get it out into the real world just to fight with 096, 076, and 682. All because Dr. Bright thought it would be funny to watch with his best bud, Dr. Knight. Newly acquired best bud, but still best bud whatever. I guess whatever he wants to believe, whatever helps him sleep at night. And the end result ended up being the, death of an extensive amount of Foundation personnel, D-Class, and God knows how many other else, like innocent citizens, once this certain SCP has gotten a certain distance towards actual civilization, in which somehow SCP-999 and SCP-173 were also somehow ended up being. Oh, and unless I forget, also SCP-106. Yes, this many, and oh my god, the damage was extensive. And on to how exactly we managed to contain these entities. Well, 999 is just, a softie, a good little boy, and managed to trick the certain SCP, which I still cannot remember the number for, that is supposed to have crashed into Minecraft and supposed to still reside there, back into said Minecraft in a more intricately designed version of a containment cell inside of the server that ended up being chosen. After which, 999 was given a whole new treat from a different country which I had never heard from before. Well, at least that's what we were able to do. I mean, after all, that did basically save the entire freaking world, having that thing recontained. And as for 076 and 096, well, and even other SCPs that actually managed to breach containment, all of them except for SCP-682 are basically non-disclosed on how they managed to actually get put back into containment. The reason why 682's way of getting back into containment isn't is because it actually involved something that the Foundation still cannot revolve their heads around to this day. That is, unless we are to believe Dr. Alto Clef's theory, which still is very sketchy to this day. And, hard to believe as well. But considering it's the only one that really has all that much, evidence to it that actually allows it to be believable at all. You know, we have basically, at the foundation of basically, taken liberty to basically decide that to believe it anyways. In which basically Clef basically, even known for being a very profound liar, we literally have to believe what he says, or else we have no literal conclusion on how 682 was contained. So, with Clef's being the only evidence we have to support, any containment of 682 ever happening, and well, it is recontained, we just only know Clef's version of the story. In which basically, as weird as it sounds, it is somewhat plausible, considering the nature of, Dr. Knight. Apparently, Dr. Knight was able to convince Dr. Clef, as much as they seem to, for whatever reason, seem to, literally hate each other a lot. And believe it when I say a lot. Somehow managed to convince him to basically allow to wear SCP-999 as a protective suit to basically take a deep dive into the waters of the containment chamber of 682. And, well, somehow use 999 as a beacon to transfer some sort of message that psychically put 682 in a trance that made it somehow enter containment without any fuss. As for the reason of how exactly this was possible, Dr. Knight did present something of a thing whenever he had said something about having 999 as a suit was the only way to truly get the message through. But we are still not sure on how exactly it got any message through or how any of that is supposed to make any sense. But seeing as we have no other evidence, basically we have nothing else to assume how 682 got put back in containment. So, well, fast, to be honest. And basically, as for the amount of human population that were murdered, both amnestics provided by the Y909 part of SCP-3000 were used, and also the use of SCP-2000 Ex Machina. With the combined usage of both of those, we were safely able to recontain basically everything and back to the status quo, keeping the veil of secrecy up and ensuring that life is as the way it is supposed to be. Who are the hell were we kidding? We literally have Dr. Knight everywhere. The dude's like a literal beacon of hazardous death and destruction. Or are we talking about the person who's supposed to be related to him being SCP-8888? Oh, and about that. Apparently, 8888 has some similarities to SCP-343 in the fact that it can literally not be contained, though the Foundation is having trouble as to whether classing as a Thaumiel, Keter, or a Polyon class because of the different, well, let's call them uses of 8888. Keter because of the danger level, Apollyon because of the literal impossible to be contained. However, the Thaumiel, well, that only really comes into play if 8888 is willing to per se play by the same rule book as the Foundation, and that it will help keep up the veil of secrecy by keeping its tendencies to a minimum. And which tendencies you may think we're talking about being its playtime. At least that's what it calls it. Those things being, well, playtime, keeping that to a minimum, basically helping with lessening the amount of missing persons cases, and also lessening the amount of problematic issues that come up with said missing persons cases, and what exactly persons that's attached to. In other words, playtime in SCP-8888's mind is, well, there's a reason why most of the 8888 article has not been released to multiple of the people assigned to actually, well, look after it, you could say. Because even the article itself has residual traces of said instance of 8888. Also known as 8888-8. And the less we talk about 8888-8, the instances of those, the better. Trust us. The less we talk about those, the better. For everyone. That is unless you're a Dr. Knight, which, in that case, well, in that case, please do not ever try that again. We want to keep the anomalies inside. We'd rather that happen. Thank you very much. When about anything else to do with that old disaster, it was resolved. Dr. Brett was punished accordingly, and, it just so happens that Dr. Knight seemed to be nowhere to be found whenever the last of those anomalies were contained. And if you're wondering how that's possible, seeing as he needed to be there in order to contain SCP-682 if what we had previously stated is to be believed, trust us, we tried. And apparently 999 doesn't even know how that happened either. Though it is believed that from whenever we can understand of 999 speech, that apparently something happened and playtime is going to resume very soon for SCP-8888. And so to expect another instance of 8888-8 very, very soon. And as for that, well, damn it, Dr. Knight, you sly devil. Because if we know anything about that, he'll probably be pestering Dr. Clef any time now, just to get away from capital punishment. That is, even if that ever actually has worked in the past. Which, no, it has not. Though, for some reason, the O5 still keep on trying. And I'm one of them. I just don't exactly like how they've been taking, or at least trying to take care of that whole situation. Capital punishment isn't gonna work, guys. Dude actually seems to be literally immortal. And invulnerable at that. Maybe if you just wanted to piss him off, maybe then you'd be in work. Because, literally, I think the last time that was actually tried, Dr. Clev almost lost an arm. I don't know why he was there at the time, considering he hates him so much, and dude hates him back. Even more so than, I believe, Dr. Clef, actually, could throw back. Because, just, damn, that was close. And also, another thing to note, 999 also, I think, had mentioned something about Dr. Clef's ukulele going missing. That's probably why he's been so cranky lately. Damn it. 999 told us exactly what had happened. Damn it, Dr. Knight, why you have to steal the dude's freaking ukulele? And considering the opinion of the man that Dr. Knight has, it's probably burning in a steaming hot dumpster fire. If not the fireplace, the dude somehow keeps on materializing in his room. That has been provided by Foundation Services, but never was supposed to include a frickin' chimney. I don't know how he has it there, or how he's been keeping it there, no matter how many times the Foundation has tried to remove the damn thing. It just doesn't seem to really want to go. Because every time someone re-enters his room, trying to, get him or summon him or whatever, for whatever reason, it's always back there. It's really like the chimney's anomalous too. In fact, most things that people try to take from Dr. Knight, a lot of things about him or, nothing to do with him seem to just never fail. Dude's a freaking magic man if he's able to do that. Not only use freaking 999 as a hazmat suit, even though from previous things we know he can survive the acid inside 682's containment. He can even survive bullets. They really fall through the man and straight down. I mean, good God. I've heard of being bulletproof, that's just insane. And, good God. What is that? I gotta adjust this shit. No. It happened again. Apparently we just now figured out how the chimney keeps on appearing. That substance shit that keeps on appearing on 8888's sarcophagus. It's been doing it. 8888 is using its powers to keep on making that shit appear back in dude's freaking room. Well, guys, the mystery is apparently now solved. 8888 just really doesn't like whenever we remove stuff from Dr. Knight's freaking room. And we can't exactly kill 8888 because, well, apparently things are freaking immortal, like not only immortal, but, you know. God knows what else. Freaking level God being, or even beyond that. We can't really tell for sure. The only thing we can tell is apparently from some records that Scarlet King has only kept that chain still existing, that one last chain existing, because it does not want to confront 8888. Apparently, 8888 has managed to make the Scarlet King afraid of it, so much so that it refuses to go back into our reality, or wherever it's decided to be. And not only that, but apparently it also has that effect on the freaking Children of the Night. And the Fae Folk. Well, considering it's literally called the freaking King of Starlight, I wouldn't be surprised. And all of that, but its relations to Dr. Knight, which apparently also doesn't exactly have the best relationship with Fae Folk and the Children of the Night, or even the Scarlet King. Which is surprising, seeing as the theory about 682 and 999 being, its offspring. But I guess not exactly like father like son, I guess, maybe? Maybe not. I don't know. The frick? I've been going on a tangent again. By the way, if you were wondering who I was talking to, apparently someone managed to escape. Yeah, Dr. Scranton. Apparently, we all guessed wrong. Apparently, the whole war shit, whenever it came to 106 versus 096, was kind of messed up. And the story of Dr. Scranton, facing that whole red reality thing, was more real than we thought. Well, it seems that Dr. Scranton has been with us longer than we expected. No wonder those reality anchors never worked. Dumbasses, I always knew deep down inside that somehow, some way, Scranton never left. Never truly left. I better pay a visit to 106. Congratulate him on finally getting everyone to realize who he actually is. I wonder what birthday it would be of his. It should be coming up soon. How does one throw a birthday for a Keter class SCP? Well, at least former Foundation staff turned Keter class SCP. I guess, tell him about, well, how grateful we are about the whole Scranton reality anchor thing. How it has helped, but not always, but it has. At times. Not always, but at times it has. I guess maybe that would make him somewhat happy. Either that or he'll just throw me into that pocket dimension again. There I go, going on tangents again. Anyways, this is the end of the first instance of the Dr. Knight files. 05- data redacted